Welcome to a brand new Five Heart Podcast live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. I'm your host, Greg Mahochko. It's been so damn long, and I missed each and every one of you, especially my co-host, Minnie Hunt. Good evening, my friend. How are you doing tonight?
I missed you. I'm so glad you're here. I never realized how much I could possibly miss you.
I'm married, Minnie.
Not like that. Although,
I-
like I said, I wish I could give you a big hug because I'm so glad to see you.
Well, maybe someday. Maybe someday. Justin Raji says Twitter. No, it's X. It's X, Justin.
Okay. Yeah.
Get on board the train. Anyway.
Oh, I know. Do you know what he's saying Twitter to?
Is it because I said YouTube, Facebook, and X?
Maybe. Maybe, but there's also something going on Twitter.
What's going on Twitter?
One of our favorite people tweeted Dylan Riola. He never, ever sends out tweets. Ever.
I'd say John Johnston?
He's calling all Lincolners to meet him and greet David Sanders Jr. Come on.
Thank you, James. I appreciate you playing along with it.
Give him something.
Aaron Keene wants to know what IP did he tweet from Minnie?
Oh my gosh. I have no idea.
All right. So no, I got enough on my plate tonight. I have not seen Justin. I'm sorry. I'm a horrible human being. What can I say? I have been busy this week. I've been working. It's been a great week back from vacation. Of course, we all know why I missed the show 2 weeks ago because I was also working. So in my job, if I'm working late, it's a good sign for work. Bad for being here or for missing the show because, as I've said before, I love doing the show. This is my happy place. One of many, but this is top 5 happy places for me every week. So when I miss the show, I do feel sad. I did try to chime in a little bit 2 weeks ago when Hoss was here sitting with you, and I did listen to that show on YouTube that Minnie you carried by yourself. Tremendous job. And then I know that you and John did the show last week, but
yep.
I gotta say, this is my chair and this is my show. And so I do feel weird when I'm not a part of it. So
is it weird seeing somebody else on the left side of the screen?
I mean, I guess. I mean,
I didn't even know how to switch it up. There's so little you taught me.
I'm sorry. We need maybe a more in-depth tutorial. But Scott says, Greg, thank you for picking up the slack for John. That's right. John was not, or I could not be there Monday night because they didn't have power in his town, the whole city, and it damaged some of the internet. So he asked me with very little warning. I feel like I did okay to step in and do Monday Night Therapy, which became just a big hangout and Q&A and a great visit with a lot of you. And I got to say, it's a different, weird place on Monday night. While most of the commenters are a lot of you Chatterfields, there's those one or two rogue individuals. I know.
Yeah. There's a lot from Facebook and other places too.
Well, and John sent me a message at the end of that. He said 1,200 viewers on that show Monday night, which is nuts. And a lot of them were probably expecting that Ohio State conversation that got tabled again. But Linda Watkins is a famous, if she is to John what you are to Dylan, little stalkery. It's okay. This is a judgment-free zone.
This is why I like her.
But she was telling everybody about the hype video, that Nebraska hype video for Colorado, and in the comments, she was, first of all, she was telling me to, try to stay sober. Like, she's not here on Thursday nights. What does she know?
She has no idea.
Right. And then she says, "Here, hey everybody, watch that hype video from Polyjam 24 YouTube channel, and guys, make sure you're wearing loose fitting shorts," or something. Like, this is a weird place. I don't know what to think of this. So,
is that what she said? Really? That's so funny. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was.
Good for her.
Whoa. So anyway, I'm so excited to get into this week's show, which, before anybody asks, I haven't looked at the right and proper format yet, Minnie. I'm sorry.
Great.
I've been working. I feel horrible.
It's okay. It's okay. Actually, I kind of figure you don't at this point.
I do try. I do try when you send it over to click peruse it a little bit. It just, I was on the road tonight and I didn't get so apologies to you.
That's not a problem. I figure you don't have time to, like, look over things as much as I do. Like, pause, rewind, pause, rewind. What did he say? And I'm typing it. What did he say?
No, I
definitely don't. It down. I have it down for you.
You're the best. I will say I watched Matt Rhule's, prime, main podium, main stage presentation or Q&A and opening statements. And I know we're going to get to that. I'm not trying to jump the gun, but I do like that the corroboration we have in that usually Tuesdays or sometimes Wednesdays, I say, what the hell are we talking about this week? And then you give me a few bullet points so that I can at least throw the article together. It's not totally dissimilar from the way it used to be, which everybody's like, oh, less format, blah, blah, blah. It's just those conversations between me and Hoss, me and John, me, Hoss, and John would take place like 10 minutes before the show. Like, what the hell are we talking about this week? So we just give ourselves 24 or so hours to, get the finer details in. So all that being said, I'm excited. I'm tickled to be back. Roger Moore, I believe, wanted to know the beverage of the night. Look, it is what it is, right? It's the unofficial beer of the Five Heart Podcast, and it's a beer that I got to enjoy on my vacation because I was in Cincinnati, and they have my favorite. So I got to enjoy Yuengling in the hotel bar because that's where I went with my colleagues. So we ended up actually, Friday night we ended up at a jazz club for a little while. And they brought over, or the server comes over and she said, "Oh, what can we get you?" I said, "Do you have Yuengling? Because I just had it at the hotel bar, and if you don't have it, I'll just go back there." And she looked at me, she's like, "Sir, this is a jazz club. We don't have Yuengling." So I had to suffer with a Miller High Life. So,
hey, Josh Hansen's in the house, and he says it cannot be the unofficial beer of a Husker Pod if you can't buy it in Nebraska, in my opinion.
It can be the unofficial beer of a Husker Podcast. It cannot be the official beer of a Husker Podcast.
Is that what
those are no, that's what I'm correcting him on the rules of the beer that I drink on my show. So.
Okay. You got that, Josh? You got that?
All right. Before we move on to the next part of the show.
Hey, Greg. Before you do anything else, I have to say something. What is going on with your shirt? It looks a little salmonish. You're wearing that one. You chose that one over your...
No,
What?
I was going to do a reveal.
Oh, wait, is that for the end?
No, it's for right now.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, before we get any further, I got to take my earpods out, so I'm not going to be able to hear you. But before we get any further,
you want some music?
I feel like it's time. See if I can do this.
Wait. Da-na-na-na-na.
There it is. Hopefully I didn't flash my man boobs at anybody, because that's a good way to get kicked off YouTube.
That's a great shirt.
Copycorn.com. Copycorn.com. That's exactly what it was. Went NWO. Except it's all the same team. It's all the same team. Copycorn, Coronation. We'll get to more. We are actually running a special right now. Oh, there you go. Never Mind Me is here and complimentary.
Hi. Thank you.
Aaron Keene just threw a single at the TV, buddy. It's going to cost more than that. That's all I can say.
Aaron Keene changed his icon. He's a skeleton now. See that?
Well, it's fine.
It's scary. It's getting in the mood for the black shirt. That's what it is.
Scott says I've been wearing the same shirt since Monday. I put the shirt on for the show Monday. I took the shirt off. Full disclosure, Hoss and I re-recorded on Tuesday night for our Overreaction Revisited. The shirt was on, and I took it off. And I put it on for this show, and I'm going to take it off after the show. Keep it as pristine as possible for as long as possible. All right. So, what was I going to... Oh.
How many red shirts do you own?
Red? Mm-hmm. Or red Husker shirts?
Oh, because you're a St. Louis fan, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Husker shirts.
One. I have a Nebraska ball shirt from like 2017 that we did. Really cool. So I have one. I have that one. I have a red Nebraska polo that I'm going to count.
I saw that. That was a nice shirt.
This is red. It doesn't appear as red next to the pure red, but it's red. I have a Go Big Red shirt that is technically on loan to my other podcast co-host, Mike Luther, a co-host of the year, for when we went to the Nebraska-Illinois game last fall, and I just haven't got it back, or the hoodie. It's starting to feel like he's my girlfriend now. Just kind of stole my hoodie. So I don't know, probably 5 or 6.
Well, Greg, Jason Reeves says, I don't feel like we talk about how buff Greg is enough.
That's a very, very brief conversation if you're going to do it at all. It's like, let's spend all the words to use to describe how buff Greg is, and the words are he's not. So, let's see.
Were you at one time, Greg?
No.
No?
My pediatrician, going back 30 years, used to say that I was fat. And I don't think I was that fat 30 years ago, but it was off the old like height, weight, BMI chart. So he's like, based on your weight, you're obese. I'm like, well, you're an asshole. So I didn't say that. I don't think I could have, but let's see. Fred says Greg still calls Rascal Scott. If there's any flies on Greg, they're paying rent. All right. So, I know we're not to housekeeping yet. I apologize. But since we're talking about Cobby Corn and the sweet, sweet merch found therein, it's important to note we got a letter.
What?
And I'm going to read you the contents of the letter. To whom it may concern, I write on behalf of the University of Nebraska, parenthetical, the university. The university's trademark licensing office controls the licensing, protection, and enforcement of the university's name, logo, colors, slogans, mascots, and other proprietary rights. herein after marks. The university owns all rights, titles, and interest in its marks, including our primary N mark, Go Big Red, and Bug Eaters. No one is authorized to manufacture, distribute, advertise, offer for sale, and or sell any products bearing the marks without the express written permission of the university and or its licensing agent. As you can imagine, the university has developed a valuable ownership interest. Its marks through its promotion of the marks in connection with its education and athletic services. In addition, the university has engaged in long, continuous, and exclusive use of its marks, both through its direct use and through its extensive licensing program. As a result, the marks have become strong and well-known among the consuming public, and consumers recognize the quality of the goods and services emanating from the university. By the way, I don't think this is supposed to make public, but I got permission from John. Recently, we have become aware that you are selling products bearing the university's marks or confusingly similar variations of those marks. We have listed links below showing some of our concerns. Although we understand that you may not have intended to create any issues by using the marks, it is important for the university to be diligent in controlling all uses of its marks. Your use of the university's marks may cause consumers to erroneously believe that the university has authorized you to manufacture, sell, and or distribute the products. In addition, your use of the university's marks without approval likely dilute their distinctiveness by trading upon the goodwill and reputation that the public associates with the university, and its marks may also interfere with the university's merchandising and licensing of the marks in the marketplace. Having set forth these concerns, we would appreciate if you would provide the university with written assurances by August 1st that you will refrain from using the university's marks and remove all items you currently have for sale from your website and social media pages. We very much appreciate your cooperation in this matter. Please do not hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. So, shirts that as of July 31st, you'll no longer be able to acquire at copycorn.com. I wish I had the images again. I didn't have time. The relatively new Nebraska Bug Eaters, the Fuck Everything Go Big Red, and the, again, written out text, no images. There is no hope.
You can't say Go Big Red. You can't
say that is a trademark of theirs.
Oh, of course.
So, as well as John's beautiful rant that, by the way, got so many people to this channel, to this show, to Corn Nation. There is no hope. Fuck everything. Go Big Red. So, what I had convinced John to do, I said, look, John, if they're going to give us a shade less than a week to pull all the merch, we need to put all of those items for sale at a discount, and as like a fire sale for those
flashy prices
for those shirts. So John has given us this opportunity, and I'm gonna throw it in so that people can see it. I'm gonna throw it in the comments. Again, I wish I had all this prepared, but such is the life. Holy crap. This is what happens when I turn my tab for a few minutes. 23 comments. Good Lord. Y'all are the best. So right now, until August 1st, if you go to copycorn.com, you can get 15% off your entire order with the discount code 24BUGMUNCHER. Again, Bug Muncher, Fred. And you'll be able to take 15% off your entire order. Get those shirts while you can, because, I mean, I just got this in the mail. It actually arrived while we were out of town.
Like a week.
And I'm probably going to get that Bug Eater shirt ordered up so that I can have it. So not Butt Muncher, not Rug Muncher, Bug Muncher, because you can't say Bug Eater, which I think Bug Muncher should become a shirt because.
What about shit asses? Can we trademark that?
I'm sure we can. So anyway,
that is really horrible.
Josh says, I wish I had known before I ordered my game day shirt for this year. Fred says 24 Bug Muncher catfish Scott Frost prior to the Northwest game in Ireland. I'm scrolling up because, again, I was on the other tab, so I didn't see everything.
Oh, I had put some comments up whenever you were talking.
Good evening to you.
hello.
Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast. And I saw Angela's in here as well. I don't know if I gave her proper flowers. So hello, Matneys. Yeah. I don't know about Golden Knights. I doubt we can do anything in an emergent manner with any politician, regardless of political leanings or level of government.
Oh, what about, did they say GBR?
I just said go Big Red. So
good to know.
I'm highly. I got fired up when I saw when John shared that information because I said prime. I said let's do 50% on that stuff. He says no, we can't. We don't have those types of margins. The website is, I'm gonna put it in the comments here, so hopefully you can just click it for convenience. Copycorn.com.
It's an easy website. Yep. Well, good to know. Back to the drawing board.
I thought you were going to say back to the format. I about flipped my desk over. Oh, what a great show we have. There's been a lot. First of all, I've seen it a few times in the comments. I'm going to highlight this one. Roger Moore says, read out in just 44 days.
Yes.
I don't know what the hell that is. I apologize to everybody who's had to see too much of me. Josh says a buddy of his made a bunch of Superman shirts back in the day. Got a cease and desist very quickly. So
really,
which is crazy because when the time when I was out in Shattering, and Josh would remember this as well, they had Danny Woodhead out there, and the student section had shirts, black shirts, white lettering, got wood, kind of like the got milk, but Danny Woodhead. So, yeah, crazy.
Good to know.
Aaron Rastovski says, by the way, Coronation Riders, whomever they may be, that might be on later are ready whenever they will be called upon.
Aww.
Don't know who you could be talking about. All right, well, let us jump into the show, shall we? I mean, you haven't yelled at me yet. It's only 23 minutes in, so I feel like
I missed you.
We could probably squeeze a little friendly banter out and go all the way to 30 minutes before we get to the format.
No, we're done.
No, I didn't realize you had a hot date tonight.
Grace, 2 pages. 2 pages.
Yeah.
That's not even including Rastovski stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rastovski, you're the man.
Yeah. He'll be on later. So we have Big Ten Media Days that just happened. Well, just finished up tonight. And we saw Matt Rhule took the podium yesterday, and he talked specifically about turnovers. First thing, he said that our turnovers, very few turnovers last year, were happening because of bad luck. He said that it was passing efficiency and holding the ball properly. You know that, what do they call it, a 5-point?
The 5 points of contact.
5 points of contact. Yeah, so he said that they've basically eliminated those problems. And he said, you know, he brought it up again. If we didn't have those 17 turnovers, we could have easily won 9 games. So this shows you how close we were and how good we didn't even know we were. So,
and I like that, you know, that's something that I said quite a bit last fall as well, is, you know, again, you remove those mistakes and a lot of those L's turn into W's real quick. And just to kind of piggyback off of what Fred Sacco here says, Bielema loves turnover talk. Yeah, like apple turnovers, cherry turnovers. I couldn't resist. I'm pretty sure that's where he was going with it, but
I like this one too. The 5 Points of Contact podcast. egg.
I know. That's a show that we had here. And may or may not be coming back in the fall. I don't know. I don't know anything about that one.
That sounds so fun. 5 points of contact.
5 Points of Contact was I don't think they had as many episodes. They don't think they did every week, but it was a little live reaction show, whereas Hoss and Mine were always recorded and then uploaded for the next day. So
yeah. Justin Raji wants to know if I'm going to fly in to welcome David Sanders with Dylan Raiola. I definitely considered it. If I haven't seen, it's because my daughter's been at camp. Otherwise, I'd be there. Oh, that sounds so fun. Hey, all of Lincoln, just come and help me welcome my friend. I mean, Dylan Raiola is doing his part. I love that. Okay, we're going to get back to what we were talking about. Sorry. He said, if you turn the ball over, you're not going to play, and vice versa for defense. So if you get an interception, you'll play. So that's taking care of the turnover issue. He talked about how they're going to be going to 105 player count, and he wanted to know, kind of the logistics, not the what, but the how. Like, how does that actually work? If I have a player, which this happened last year, we had 3-4 players that had season-ending injuries. Does that count against the 105? I mean, that's a great point. So then we only have 101 players. He would love it to be more like 120 players, and he's worried that because of this, we will not have walk-ons most likely in the future. I thought that was a great point because I didn't even consider that. He also said that he had already approached John Butler, our new secondary coach. In the spring, he was talking to him about coming and kind of joining him as an analyst, and it wasn't the right time. And I guess they were vacationing 2 towns apart from each other. And I don't know if you've watched any videos about John Butler, but I swear this guy was custom made for Nebraska football. When he was with the Bills, I started watching some of his interviews that he gave and things like that. And he's just like straight to the point, doesn't have any fluff, just it's all about football, relationships. So I'm really excited to see what he brings to the table for us. Let's see here. He also talked about the Huskers have reconstructed a bunch, which means that he wants 2 coaches for each position. With the new Big Ten rule, you can have analysts and graduate assistants actually coach. So that means, you ready for this? Ron Brown will be coaching fullbacks and returners. It's about time. We need him to assist.
it's yeah, I mean, he's got such a history at Nebraska. I think he's obviously pretty well liked and respected around the program, and just again that pedigree that he brings. Not everybody is a fan, apparently. Mr. Rastovski saying, "What do we have to do to get rid of Ron Brown?"
What? Seriously? How could you say that? He's like a permanent fixture.
And maybe that's what people. I mean, maybe people want just a clean slate. I don't know.
Okay. Well, some people have different opinions, and that's just how life works sometimes, Greg.
I'm not. Josh loves Coach Brown. Justin wants to know why Aaron doesn't.
When Aaron, one thing I've noticed, when Aaron has a strong opinion, he doesn't hold back, regardless of what the room might think.
Well, nobody's
It's good.
perfect all the time.
It's good. Okay. So, he also talked about the receiving room.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. He said last year we didn't have guys open. The offensive line was running the ball last year against a defense that pretty much knew we were running the ball every single play. So now we have the options to pass and run and do all kinds of balanced football. And he said teams will have to defend the run and the pass no matter who the quarterback is. And he also talked about Carter Nelson, who I'm so glad he mentioned him because I think this kid is amazing. He is so much better than I ever expected. So he said that he's now going to be playing as a wide receiver instead of a tight end, that he can come in and block, and he is a difference maker. I love it when coaches describe players as difference makers, and I could see that in him, especially when we saw him in the Polynesian Bowl. He said IGC's healthy, Fedoni's healthy, and he can cut them loose. He said the young guys last year, they got reps, so they have the experience, and then he added in all that experience from the transfer portal as well, with Isaiah Nair and Jamal Banks.
Well, and not only that, but that move is designed to be able to get Carter Nelson on the field faster.
Yeah.
Rhule said that he's ready to go. So that's encouraging, because this is a kid coming from like 8-man football. And the fact that the coaching staff has that much confidence in him is
crazy.
Is tremendous.
That is kind of crazy when you think about it. He said Bly Hill will join about 2 weeks after fall camp begins, which is next week. And that they need to get Sayer right from the transfer from USC here on campus, and at least a couple weeks of practice before a game. And the thing that I liked, his quote that I liked most, was he wakes up every day and says, oh, no. I like this because I laugh. He goes, what are the rules today? Because the Big Ten's always adapting. NCAA is always like changing the rules. So he's like, you just have to be able to adapt, which is so true because, he talked about NIL and he talked about scholarships and how, they didn't think that maybe there was going to be the revenue sharing and maybe not NIL. And there's just kind of like everything's kind of, it could change on a dime. So the best thing out of the Big Ten Media Days, I thought, Greg, was that he made it sound like we are ready for the season. What do you think?
That was kind of my takeaway. He's chomping at the bit. He brought up a lot of numbers from last year, talk about the turnovers. The one numbers that he talked that I think really from the main podium, again, that's the portion that I watched, that really spawned some interesting comment and question and kind of acknowledgement from one of the reporters, is he was talking about the GPA, the team GPA, and talking about, he's like, by the time we get to the end of December, we're gonna have 30 college graduates on this team. And so the one reporter came up and she said, I want to just get 4 numbers here for you, and whatever it was, 3.241 or 421 or whatever it was, she said, you're the first coach that's come up here and talked all about academics. I think if you are a parent anywhere in the country who actually wants your child to excel from the academic side of things as well, and maybe not all parents do. Maybe all parents are like, go get that bag, go get that, NFL. But we know that not every, individual who plays college football is going to play pro football. There's not more of them. There was a really great commercial that the NCAA did a few years back, and it said, I'm a college athlete. I'm a, be it women's basketball or football or gymnastics or whatever. And basically the statistics were there are X amount of, college student athletes, only this percentage of them are going to go pro, and kind of trying to emphasize the student part of student athlete when, I thought that was as much as all the coaches talk about, we're doing what we can for them, obviously on the field, but we want these kids to succeed off the field as well. Like there was only one coach that came out there prepared to fire live rounds and blatantly say, here's where we are academically. And I thought that took, courage because you have to do something to stand out in that point. So from the off the field stuff, but from the on field and in the weight room, I got some numbers for y'all here. Let's see. And Nate McHugh was sharing these earlier today in the Slack chat. But Jamari Butler is up to 260 pounds. He was 245 in the spring.
Yep.
Malachi Coleman's up to 210 from 190. Harburg's put on 10 pounds to 225. Quentin Ives went up, bumped up 25 pounds from his 185. He's now 210. Ramir Johnson's put on 15 pounds. He's at an even 200 now. Grant Segrin went up 45 pounds from last spring. What these kids are doing, they're putting in the work. And the nutrition and strength and conditioning. And I have nothing but great things to say about the nutrition and strength and conditioning programs after how they helped Nash transform his body after football before he went to wrestle, and what they are able to do to help get these young men ready to go and in peak physical condition. I'm amazed,
Me too. I didn't realize that. Oh my gosh. These guys, that's muscle.
Yeah, that's all good weight.
Quentin Ives, an additional 25 pounds. Think about that. Think about his power that he's going to have this year.
Josh says, I put on 10 pounds today at Culver's. Greg, you going to say my name? Yes, Josh is up 10 pounds from, I'm not going to say, to, anyway. And Fred says, oh, shit, Minnie's pulling out a folder of docs. Put on the podcast.
Well, I'm just pulling out their weight from the spring. That's all I was doing.
Oh, okay.
That was it.
You would have those numbers. No, so we have some more discourse in the chats about Ron Brown. And it kind of gets to, let's see. Josh said, people don't like that he's preachy. And Justin says, that's petty.
Who said that?
Justin.
Who said that?
That people don't, that people's opinion, that it's a petty reason to not like him.
No. Who said that people don't like that he's preachy?
Josh.
Oh, okay.
And I've heard that for 20 years. Rastovski says, Josh put it at a much more mild level than I would have, but that's the root cause of it. And then we get into some anecdotal evidence, which I think is, whether you like him or not, just some anecdotals. But Josh says, when I was in high school, a teammate was seriously and permanently injured. Not only did Coach Brown go to the hospital all the time and get to know the family, he came out west to our school, talked to the whole school. He'll forever be a great Husker and great man to me.
Oh, gosh.
Let's see. Fred says Coach Brown signed a book for a friend of mine's dad who was dying of cancer. Then he called him and chatted for a while because a friend in FCA told him about him.
Wow.
So again, look, there's anecdotal evidence probably on both sides of the argument, but I'm never going to take away, somebody's.
I think it's I get it. There's a lot of, especially in the Midwest, let's be honest, there's a lot of that preachy behavior, which is not fun for anyone to listen to. But he has knowledge. He has the right intention and he has the knowledge and experience. So we like him because of that.
TSD says, who cares? Coach Brown is a legend. And if we're talking about examples, living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart Podcast. I've missed saying that, Mr. Matney, says, look at the poor example Scott Frost was. Yeah. So, yeah, everybody's going to have their opinions. I'm not telling you how to believe. Just go by the anecdotal evidence that was shared here. So,
fun.
All right. Well, yes.
Since you skipped part 3 already, you already did it.
Well, almost all of it.
What do you mean? What else do you have to do? Oh, okay, go for it.
Hey, all of you on YouTube, if you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure when you do, you ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time we drop a new episode, be it a new live stream or a new recorded canned show, whether it's the Five Heart Podcast, whether it's Monday Night Therapy, all the right movies, 5 Points of Contact. Believe it or not, here in the few weeks, probably mid-August, Hoss and I are going to go live for a very special Coronation Overreaction. It's going to be wild. So make sure that you subscribe for all the goodies. And like, notify, all the fun stuff.
Okay, great. I did not get an image for this guy.
Okay. I'll forgive you.
Well, because I didn't realize I needed to, but I should have, because I said I would. Guys, we did get the commitment from Kade Pietrzak, the guy that I told you about last week. He's the 3-star from Missouri. He is a defensive lineman from West Fargo, North Dakota, 6'4", 250. And even though he's a 3-star, he has an 89 rating, which is basically like a 4-star. So, yay. Great to have him as a Husker. Welcome. Where'd you go?
I realized I was muted. I said, get ready to get stalked. Corn stalked. Wait, no, I don't want to say corn stalked, but
why? They don't have a copyright on that.
No, but I think that there might be some undertones if you say corn stalked, and I don't want to bring the show to that level. We try to keep the show classy.
Corn stalked. I don't understand that. What is the undertone?
Never mind. If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Why?
No, the reason I keep muting myself is because I'm frantically trying to get some of this artwork done for the end of the show because I didn't get it done because of work. So, Josh says, corn stalked. I'm working on a shirt idea. So, that's okay. All right. So it's amazing that we have Kade. So Kade is, I know you talked about him last week, number 1 player in North Dakota, number 1 defensive lineman, he's the number 35 ranked defensive lineman nationally and the number 321st player nationally. If I'm understanding these right, I might not be.
You're right. You are right.
6'4", 250. He had offers from Nebraska, Kansas State, Oklahoma, Wisconsin, Arizona State, as well as Auburn, Boston College, Duke, Florida, Florida State. Iowa State, Missouri, North Dakota State, South Dakota State, Stanford, Texas A&M, UCLA, UNLV, USC, Washington, and Kansas. No, all of them. Every school that I listed had offered him, but Kansas. So, but he did commit. And you know who was listed as the main recruiters for Mr. Pietrzak? Pietrzak? I don't know how to pronounce it. But Terrence Knighton and Tony White. So
nice.
It adds depth. That. We already had 14 defensive linemen either committed or on the roster. So Nice pick up there.
I love it. I love it. Give us as many offensive linemen and defensive linemen as we can get, right? Um, well, also
I'm
next we
offended.
have what?
Look at that comment.
Aaron Keene said, "Oh, we absolutely do not try to keep it classy." He gave up a long ago. I, he has a point.
How
When
dare you, sir?
seriously?
Hmm?
How could you be offended by that?
I try to keep it classy. I don't know what you want to
Oh,
do.
excuse us. Yeah, we know. Greg, you're so classy with your ceiling fan and your boob lights.
The boob light missed me. You think you missed me the last 2 weeks? The boob light hasn't been diddled in a while. Thank you, Don. 5 Heart podcasts are always a lot of fun. We appreciate you, Don. We really do. We know that you came for Todd Wolverton, but you stayed for everybody else, and that's what we like about you, Don.
Yes.
So, all right. Apparently, it's pronounced Pietrzak.
Pietrzak?
Pietrzak.
Not Pete. Not Pietrzak.
I have never once doubted James Boardman. I'm not going to start now.
No, we don't. We don't question him at all. He is like going to the encyclopedia.
Aaron
Wikipedia.
says it's what James said. The R in his name sits on a throne of lies. I think if you're, how do I? I'm going to catch so much shit for this, but you know what? Let's just dive right in. If you have a name that looks like it might be from a certain geographic region, I think the R should always be silent. Rastovski.
Rastovski. Rastovski.
I didn't say Rastovski. That's taking it to a different level. That's where we get the unclassy.
What you were trying to get at.
I just said Rastovski.
You just took the R. You just took the R out of his name.
I didn't call him Astovsky like you did.
That
okay?
is how you say it. You just took the R out of his name. That's how you say it.
Josh, my last name is 8 letters, and 5 of them are consonants. It's a pretty fair balance, all right? Shut up.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on, shall we? Who's visiting?
Michael, yeah, wouldn't you like to know?
I'm curious.
This guy. Oh, sorry about that blurry image.
What happened?
Michael Terry III. Well, here's the deal. I got this. Haji. How would you say his last name if the R wasn't there? Okay, Michael Terry III. I thought he wrote us off. I seriously stopped giving up hope because I hadn't heard that he was going to be coming to Nebraska. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, he's like, "Yep, I'm visiting." So he'll be here on, let's see, he'll be here on Tuesday and Wednesday. He is a 5-star. Go ahead.
Is it safe to say you stopped stalking him for a little while?
Yeah, because I thought that he kind of wasn't interested in us, but now he's visiting us again.
Fair game.
Like, what? Yes. Okay. So now we have a 5-star with a 98 rating. 98 rating. The athlete from San Antonio, Texas. He's 6'3", 217. And he's visiting Texas today, Oregon on Saturday, and he says that he's going to make his commitment probably before school starts. So we should hear something fairly soon. I hope he has a great time in Lincoln. This is what people are talking about, though. This is the major tweet, and I didn't get a copy of the tweet. I should have. David Sanders Jr. is visiting Nebraska on his way to Tennessee. He's visiting us first. He's a 5-star also with a 98 rating, offensive tackle from Charlotte, North Carolina. He's 6'6", 290. And I mean, this kid has been on our radar ever since he visited because he's good friends with Dylan Rhule, and we need friends of his to like protect him. So I hope that he makes a decision.
I have to chuckle at that. Like people who don't know him ahead of time are like, nah, we don't give a shit. Go ahead and sack the quarterback. It's only we need his friends. Only his friends will give a shit.
I mean, it's you know, you can come like you and Josh, you and him are like good buddies. So you can come down even harder on him than you wouldn't like somebody else. Right?
I'm not entirely sure I'm comfortable with your verbiage and wording there, madam.
And this is what people are talking about, how it's not. I try and keep things on the up and up. You, however, do not.
Madam, how dare you? Hold on. Justin's emailing me in the middle of the show. This isn't going to go well.
Oh.
Oh, James sent me an email too. Crap, I'm behind on the emails. Sorry, everybody.
Justin sent you the tweet, so he
did.
has it. Thank you.
And I'm working on getting that tweet.
Justin's my assistant now.
Oh,
did you know that?
Are you paying him?
No. But we're buds. I can come down on him. Not like that. Okay, never mind.
What are you talking about?
As soon as the words started coming out of my mouth, I was like, forget it.
You know what? I think we can all appreciate the fact that my computer froze, so I don't know if you can hear me or see me right now. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right, there we go. So, as embarrassed as I believe you to be right now, and as red as your face is, last Thursday I had such a sunburn. We went to Kings Island, which is outside of, or it's between Dayton and Cincinnati. Wonderful place. Took the whole family, of course. Spent a lot of time in the little kids area because, we have little kids. Sunscreen on all the kids. Mom and dad, not so smart. Didn't wear the sunscreen. And I had just got a haircut. Just went to the barber the day before. That's right. I go on vacation. I go to barber shops. So red, almost as red as my shirt. It was a glorious rest of the weekend.
Nice. You're normal now.
I mean, I've always been normal.
I mean, color.
Are you saying that? Never mind. I'm not.
You're not red.
I know. I know what you were going to say, or what you're trying to say, and I just didn't want to escalate it this time. I thought I'd be nice.
I fade fast too. I fade fast too.
Oh no, there's less fade and more peel. So what I'm doing right now, it was fun. Is I am getting the graphic of the tweet so that I can share to all the wonderful people here. Apologies for the breakdown of show format. I know you hate this type of stuff. So we got this. We're going to go into the other system. We're going to save it as a PDF so that, we can.
Just
we
so
can do
you
it
know, Rastovski says you are loud and as clear as you ever were.
I don't know if that makes me feel any better, though. But I appreciate the truth and we're just going to stop right there. All right. Here is are you ready for the tweet?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're all waiting. Yeah.
This is I got to upload the tweet too. Crap. This is becoming quite the show.
I don't know what we're doing, guys. See, he's gone for 2 weeks and he forgets how to do this stuff.
I didn't forget. All right. Here's the tweet. Processing. There we go. Husker Nation, let's welcome David Sanders home to Lincoln. Meet us outside the new Tom Osborne Complex 5:15 tomorrow. Calling all Husker fans. Go Big Red. I bet you they didn't send him a cease and desist. I'll be picking him up at Omaha Epley at 1:30 p.m. Let's show him some love.
I mean, how cool is that?
That's cool. Is that too much? I feel like that was too much.
Yes.
Sorry.
But it is, right?
It's very cool.
That's effort. That is like, hey, guys, this is important. Let's all show up.
But let's be real. He's not going to go pick him up himself. He and his driver are going to go pick him up.
Well, maybe. I mean, why would he have a driver in Lincoln? Jeez.
Because he's Dylan Rhule. Why would you drive if you're Dylan Rhule? You don't have to. You're like, driver, after this, let's go to... Oh.
I don't know. Boys like cars. That's why. He's driving himself.
Josh says, already talking to Tom, too. He's in for sure.
Oh, nice. I like that. Positive. Let's do the positive vibes here, guys. If we could have like a moment of silence, positive vibes that David Sanders Jr. will have a commitment to Nebraska. Should we do that? A second?
Yeah, you want to like kumbaya this shit? Like, what's your plan here?
I mean, I feel like we need to put as much effort into this as we can. I can't go. Can you?
No, I was already off work last week, so I have to work tomorrow too. I don't know if you know this. Like, my job is 5 days a week.
All right.
Josh says he was joking about the statue being the recruit, and he apologized. Josh, I'm sorry for not picking up. I thought you honestly
I didn't pick.
like that. Some people are like Tom Osborne's actually talking to some of these kids about the goodness, about the good life that is Nebraska. So
they just moved those statues, I think last week or this week.
God, that would have been honestly tragic if something would have happened to those statues.
I know.
So, all right. No offense to that. Let's move on, shall we?
Okay.
Who else we got?
Oh,
what else we got?
One other dude. Oh, I hope this is the guy. I hope. Isaiah Mosey, the 4-star from Lee Summit, Missouri. His dad, remember, his dad just became an analyst for the Huskers?
Yes.
But he committed to Oregon in June. He's taking an official visit to Nebraska this weekend.
Right, and he had just committed. Yeah, like you said, he's a 4-star receiver, committed to the Ducks, hailed as one of the best, or I'm sorry, Oregon said to have one of the best wide receiver rooms in the nation. And is it possible? I mean, all right, I'm going to make another Shattering State Danny Woodhead reference. Is it possible that, or this actually kind of applies to Nebraska and Donovan Rhule, sorry. It's not so much about the first guy, but the second guy. So at Shattering State, it was Ben Woodhead, the older brother, and then Danny ended up joining him at Shattering State as well, and they played on the team together for a couple of years. So is it a situation, I don't want to say like Nepo baby, but...
Are you saying this? Are you saying, wait. Aaron Rastovski says, I feel like when your dad is your recruiting host, you have to say yes. That's not the case. His dad is not the recruiting host. And he's already been to Nebraska. He's taking another look. I feel like if you're a parent, you kind of want your kids to make the best decision for them.
Yeah.
And obviously, Nebraska's the best decision.
Well, Nebraska is the best decision for every 5-star, 4-star, 5-heart, all effort, maximum effort kid.
It's true. It's so true. I agree with you 100%.
That's all you can do.
Oh my gosh.
I love this.
I saw that too.
Will he mosey on down the tunnel walk? I'm here all night. Try the wheel. Great. Thank you, James.
That is
Aaron appreciates it as well.
That is such a dad joke. Oh my gosh.
You got to understand, though. this audience is 95% fathers. So that type of joke lands.
Ladies? Where are the ladies?
Where is Melissa tonight? Why is it that she was here last week when I wasn't, and now that I'm here, she's gone? I think she's avoiding me. I think this sums up a lot of what we're all feeling right now. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart Podcast, an individual who's yet to send me a canned coolie. I'm so glad Coach Rhule is at the helm. It just seems like things are going in the right direction. I agree.
Couldn't agree more.
So, well, let us roll on, shall we?
Did you see the Chasing 3?
I haven't seen any of the Chasing 3s.
What?
I'm sorry. I'm preparing. All right. Full disclosure. Yes, technically I work tomorrow. But first I'm going to go watch Deadpool and Wolverine at 10 o'clock in the morning because I have another podcast that talks about nerdy shit. And I want to be on the ball. And I also want to see the movie. So that's what I'm doing tomorrow morning. And I've been getting caught up. And honestly, I haven't. I'm a bad.
Just because you bought a shirt does not make up for missing Chasing 3. It is
I think it kind of does.
Good. No, it is so good.
You don't get to tell me what makes up for it, what doesn't.
Yeah, actually I do. Trust me, I do. I will tell you.
That's not how it works.
Chasing 3 is such an amazing thing that they put together for us fans to get a peek inside what goes on. I love it. Oh, I could watch it probably 50 times, and I don't like watching anything over and over again. It's fantastic.
Josh Hansen says Chasing 3s are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I've got to call him by his new title, which is Braska Rascal. Feels weird. I just want to call him Scott. Says Greg will binge watch all the Chasing 3 series before season over, probably. And then Fred says, haven't seen the Chasing 3s? Say Tail Hen Minis and 5 shit-ass Johnstons ASAP. And this is great. Josh says Chasing 3s is all that Fred did at bar clothes in college.
Oh, whoa. Touche.
That's great. I know Fred appreciates that as well. So, and so did Aaron. Said, "Oh, shots fired." James says we have 3 5-stars coming in this weekend. That's the real Chasing 3. Yeah,
it's amazing.
Maybe I don't know. I'm not witty enough to come up with I'm just not witty enough to come up with Hail Minis or things like that. I was gonna say maybe you need to say a few something Greg's to make a culpa for you.
Trust me, I say a few something Greg's.
Lord. This used to be a family show.
Anyways. Chasing 3, episode 4.
That is a high level and high quality roast, David. I love this show. I love you all. You all bring so much joy to my heart.
Can we continue?
It sounds like we have to. Sounds like we don't just get to live in the moment.
Greg, are you accusing me of not enjoying myself? What the heck? Good time too.
God bless.
I am not the fun police. I am not. We're having a good time, everybody. To hell with the format. Let's not even talk about Chasing 3.
All right, here we go. Chasing 3. Starts out with a great speech from head coach Matt Rhule, a.k.a. HCMR. Don't worry about anything else. Just think about what's next. What's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? What? And then they had to give the little record player a nudge because it was caught. Uh,
In other words, he's drilling that in the players' heads because you're going to make a mistake. So don't worry about it. Just think about what's next. What's next? What's next? You get up. What's next? I love it.
Do you think he wakes up in the morning and hits play on his music player and it goes, "Here's a little song I wrote. Might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry."
No, I don't think.
Oh, fine, be that way.
Well, I don't think he's that kind of guy.
Okay, fine. You're right. You know him more than I do.
Well, I don't know him. But I think that he probably listens to cooler music than that.
First of all, I don't really know what's cooler than that, but
that's because you wear suspenders.
First of all, fuck you. That one hurt. They're called braces, for shit's sake. Oh, this is great. This is just a night of let's just get it all out there, I guess. Yeah. All right. So I do like the, not to refer back to the Husker prayer all the time, but that day by day mentality. You can only, that which is immediately in front of you is all that you can worry about.
Mm-hmm. I love it. They are braces. I get it. Sorry. So, Chasing 3, episode 4 is titled Home, and it aired on Tuesday. What is this?
Oh, Rastovski says, I don't know if I want to come on anymore with Minnie in a roasting mood.
Roasting? I'm not. I'm just protected. Oh, I just missed you.
Uh-huh. You're making up for lost time, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So.
I had to do a show by myself.
And you survived. You survived.
Oh, barely.
This is the shirt that I want at copycorn.com. Not day by day, but dat by day. Just kidding, Justin. Love you. All right. Yes, okay, it's called Home. Okay.
Can we have a shirt that, or do you think that is copyrighted? The phrase, "If we die, we die."
I don't think it's copyrighted or trademarked.
That is a shirt. Right there. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows it. What are you wearing? What is this?
Tiger Shark Diver said, "You did great on your own, Minnie."
Oh,
Tiger Shark Diver is basically saying Greg needs to retire and get the hell out of here. No, this action is in response to Josh's questions that a Mario hat on the shelf behind Greg. It's not. It's a Cardinals hat, but I do have this hat, which I did wear in 2 other Big Ten states. So
that's a great hat.
Yeah, this is a gift from Haas. The shirt I know we talked about, how John owed me a shirt or whatever, but if you were around Monday night, I just stepped up and bought it myself. So now we're getting into
hat wear.
This has become the top of
a hat off.
Oh, hat off. Okay.
No.
Oh, sorry.
It's a hat contest.
So here's the thing, though. My hat looks red. Your hat looks more magenta.
I don't know why it does. It's not. It looks really kind of not scarlet, actually. And I don't know why it does. It's a Zephyr hat. Yeah.
Fred says,
probably because it's a little bit. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Fred says, with the hat and glasses, looks like he got caught in someone's kitchen. I don't know what that means. But I do like this. James Boardman, if we die, we die. DYE for Ryan Day, who famously dyes his beard.
Does he?
Oh gosh, yeah, it's quite obvious. He's not a touch of gray. He's full on men's hair color club, whatever it is.
I mean, are we shaming him for that?
I don't know if we're saying, we're just acknowledging it.
Greg, take your hat off.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I've got a lot of gray, but you know what? It's gray.
I'm
not artificially.
Dyeing hair is actually probably a good idea.
I'm never going to do that.
Why?
Here, there's a reason why when I go to the barber shop, I say, yeah, one guard all around, because I'm as low maintenance with that shit as possible. I don't care. Look, here, let me put it this way. I've never been known for my appearance. I worked in radio for 10 years for a reason and not television. Like my dad used to tell me that I had a good face for radio, so I don't care about the color of my hair, the color of my beard, anything. So,
yeah.
Well,
there you go.
It's all fun.
Okay. Well,
yeah. Roasting. I'm telling you,
the
Rastovski. If I were you, I'd be leery. She called me both fat and gray tonight. So.
No, I didn't call you fat.
No, not tonight. But you have called me. So.
I'm on my best behavior tonight. Jeez. Okay.
This is your time out. This is your best behavior?
Greg.
I think you've settled into a comfort level that I'm uncomfortable with.
Stop. I missed you. You know I missed you.
I can tell. I like this comment by...
Okay.
Will you please read this one? This would make me happy if you read this one.
Josh Hansen says, Greg's fuzz looking a little more white. His glasses sliding down his nose. If he starts yelling shit ass, it'll almost be like John came back. Yeah.
Ah, you shit asses.
You are seriously turning into, yes. Josh has a great point. Don't let your glasses slide. Okay. There you go.
Okay, I'm going to do this the rest of the show.
You're like transforming before our eyes. Don't do that.
I can't help being who I am. All right. I'm old.
No, you're not, Craig.
TSD says, I told you he was at the Yingling factory last week. Brother, if I make it to the Yingling factory, you may never see me again. Oh, this would be fun. There's a little... Yeah, I could, logistically speaking, I could do it. Do I want to? Probably not, but I could.
I don't want to know what goes on in your bathroom, so no.
Well, right now it's just cleaning up a lot of the stuff that the twins miss. Because they're in that.
Oh my gosh.
They're in that age. All right. How about we get back to the show? He says enthusiastically.
So he started out with a great speech from Rhule. He says, don't worry about anything else. Just think about what's next. We
talked about that already.
Yeah, but I forgot.
It's been so long. Shit.
It has been so long. Okay. And then they talked about the Nebraska Spring League, the NSL. And they showed Heinrich Harburg and Dylan throwing to all the tight ends. I thought that was interesting.
What about Danny Dimes?
Not at first. They didn't show Danny Dimes.
So much joy.
Anyways,
yes. Yeah, throwing to all the tight ends, but not Carter Nelson, who, as we know, be a wide receiver.
Okay. So, Jamari Butler, he's been here a while. Remember when Rhule came? he entered the transfer portal. Do you remember that?
I do.
Rhule had to go and talk to him and convince him, hey, why are you leaving? First of all, and he just felt like his talents weren't being utilized, that he wasn't getting any playing time. And he said that he loved Lincoln, that coming from Mobile, Alabama,
Mobile.
Mobile, is that how they say it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With his mom is a single mom with 5 kids. That he just thought, why are these people being so nice to me? They don't even know me. And he just said Lincoln felt like home. He also loves those fast cars, which I don't know why all these young kids think that these Dodge Chargers are like the best cars.
First of all, it's the only American-made 4-door muscle car.
Okay.
I have driven of all places, to Texas and back in a Hemi RT Charger. V8. Chargers are kick-ass. All right, Mindy?
Did you have kids in the
No.
back seat? Yeah, I didn't
No,
think
we traded it in after our oldest was born.
Okay.
We had a Charger for almost 2 years. It was glorious.
Glorious, he says. Okay. Well, anyways, so he loves cars, and he says there's a lot of car people in Lincoln, which I didn't know, because I always go to the Barrett Jackson car show every year. It's here, and I just think, oh, I just love going to the car show. Anyways, he said, or Coach Knighton said, he's tough, resilient, a vocal leader, a coach's dream, does the right thing on and off the field. So I don't know, just sounds like, and especially with his weight gain. Okay. Especially with his weight gain as far as the muscle, he's gonna. Oh, and his other D linemen were talking about him, saying how at first he was only on the end, and now he's moved interior. He can move anywhere. So, yeah, pretty good. They also talked about Tommy Hill, and honestly, this is where I cried, because he's just the really kind of like hard-nosed kid that has a chip on his shoulder. He almost got kicked off the team, and they had to call him in for a meeting last spring. He's our corner. I think didn't Phil still say that he's like the top player on our team,
right,
in his magazine. He was called a hard worker, crazy athletic, stubborn, rough around the edges. And Tommy wanted to leave and go back to Florida, and Coach Campbell and Rhule showed how much they cared for their players, and the players also supported him. So that's kind of what changed his mindset. He said when Rhule came, it changed his whole mindset. And he actually had a message. And this is what gets me. He said, because you could tell he's been roughed up, But he said, to some people that think you can't change your ways, I just want you to know you can. So I thought that was really great. I mean, they're really investing in these players.
Yeah. I'm going to kind of tie what you say with what Tiger Shark Diver says with, not going to lie, Coach Rhule seems pretty damn cool. I think, and if I've said this before, I guess apologies for, rehashing, but I think that Coach Rhule is doing everything right so far in his time in Lincoln. And, we're talking, we're talking in the comments about wine to dine with kings and queens and laid in the gutter eating pork and beans, baby. That's hard times. But we haven't seen those hard times with Matt Rhule yet. And I honestly, if I'm being selfish, I hope that we don't ever have to see those hard times. I hope that the 5-7 campaign last year is the worst it ever gets, and that we don't have any more losing seasons, that we don't have any serious scandals. I hope that his tenure here in Nebraska is long and fruitful and positive and successful, because I feel like he's going about it all the right way, with the staff that he's built up around him, with the players that they've been able to bring in, getting more out of what was left behind by Scott Frost, and then bringing in, the Dylan Raiolas of the world and the Danny Dimes, and not just those guys. I don't mean to focus on just those guys, but some of the top portal players that they brought in, and just the fact that they have 5-star players even entertaining the notion of a dozen years ago or 15 years ago. Bo Pelina's like, well, we can't get those types of players here in Lincoln. Nobody wants to come to Nebraska, So he's getting it all. I think he's just doing it all right. But I have a feeling that if those hard times, baby, if they do show up, I still feel like he's going to manage them and work through them in a way that's going to be productive for the program. Okay,
who says this? Where did that come from?
That's the American dream, Dusty Rhodes, baby. He's not with us anymore. He passed away a couple of years ago. He was a professional wrestler, and he had, depending on if you look at that as a sport or as whatever entertainment, he had a profound impact on that medium over the course of decades, both as a performer in the ring and then behind the scenes, coaching up younger talent, younger individuals.
Oh, that's awesome. And he had a list. He had a list.
He had a list. Yeah. Sometime after the show, I'll send you a link to one of his better promos, as they're called.
Did you see who's here? Who showed?
Melissa, we missed you. I was starting to think that you were avoiding me.
Greg, it's not always you. Maybe it's me.
Well, she wouldn't have been here the last 2 weeks if she was trying to avoid you. Thank you, Dave. I'm glad the comment section, the Chatterfields, excuse me, has some common sense and they agree with me. So I haven't been gone that long. Good Lord.
It seems like forever. I agree.
I'm doing hard time. It's hard times, baby. Son of a plumber. I'm the American dream. That's the rose.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think this one will ever happen, Aaron. I don't see Minnie writing "Dust the Rose" into her stocking file.
Yes, I did.
Josh makes a good point here. Second most recognizable athlete alive at the time. Josh, correct me if I'm wrong. It was him and who was it, Muhammad Ali, something like that. And they were talking, and he felt bad for Muhammad Ali because he was the second most recognizable athlete.
I didn't know that.
Well,
TSD says it sounds like Mike Tyson. What is
it? Baby, that's Mike Tyson.
But he also has a list.
Yeah, I know, but just because you have a list doesn't mean that you're Dusty Rhodes, baby.
I don't know if I'd make fun of Mike Tyson.
I mean, he and I are cool, I trust me, if Mike Tyson walked into my front door right now, I could talk my way out of getting punched in the face.
You could talk your way out of a paper bag. Like, I know for certain. That is your gift.
I'm a hell of a salesman. You've seen my wife.
Oh yeah. She's a knockout. It's like, what is she doing with Greg?
That's what all of our friends have said for over 15 years.
What does she see in you, Greg? How did you get her?
She was young. She was young and didn't know any better.
Shall we move on, Greg? Or are you going to do another?
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay, good. So the Apple partnership is now extending to the Big Ten. It was originally just with the SEC and the ACC, but now we get iPads on the sidelines because it's the first year the NCAA is allowing it.
That's awesome. That's wild.
I know.
And you notice how it's Apple iPads at the NCAA level, but it's the Microsoft Surfaces or whatever they're called in the NFL.
Yeah. Well, it says the Sideline Viewing System app lets coaches zoom in and make annotation, review plays, and tag favorites for later review, as with old system, but in a more immediate, flexible, and efficient way. Teams use the information to adjust play calling and instruct their players as the game unfolds. Here's the difference. Here's the key, guys. Coaches coaches and players watch game videos before a matchup to know what to expect of their opponent to gain a competitive advantage. But now they'll be able to watch game film during the game to make the adjustment. So essentially, this is going to even out the playing field.
Well, yes and no. And the reason I say that is because prior to this year or whenever the SEC was able to start doing it, neither team could have tablets on the sideline. Now both teams can have tablets on. So it's a competitive edge, yes, but to what extent? I mean, I think a lot of it. I think this is much ado about nothing. I don't know how successful implementing these devices has been for offensive coordinators, quarterbacks at the NFL level. I think that what you can use, I can also use. I don't know. I just think that their effects will kind of balance out. I'm not trying to be negative, Nancy, by any means,
but that's what I just said. Greg.
What?
I just said that in less words. Yes, I did. Aaron Keene says more devices from Michigan to watch spy film. Great.
Well, I'm sorry that I have become a burden to the show.
Never, Greg. You are not a burden. Don't think that. Don't say that.
Okay. No, good chatting. Good chatting. No, kidding. Come on, I have way too much of an ego to be serious about that.
I'm glad. Thank you.
Oh, you know what? I'll say this. While we got a little downtime as we await our guest,
yes.
I'm going to give a shout out because I see that there's some conversation in the comments about Michael Hassman, I apologize, who says, I was in Japan when Tyson lost to Buster Douglas in Tokyo. Time flies. It was ages ago. He said, there's questions about Air Force or Navy. So I'll say this, and I don't know if we have some servicemen and servicewomen who watch or listen to the show. When we were last Wednesday, when we were staying in the Dayton, Ohio area, we went, my wife, myself, and our boys, to the National Museum of the United States Air Force. And we got to see the evolution. By the way, here's Michael with the Marine Corps. Thank you all for your service. We got to see the evolution of air combat from the Wright brothers, through. I mean, basically, it's the evolution of air travel. I mean, they have now, even though, to my knowledge, there's no military application, but all the way to the space shuttle, going from World War I. They have the talking about the Doolittle raids in World War II, Korea, Vietnam. Getting to the more recent years, Gulf War, etc. It was wild to see the Flying Fortress, the B-52, to see the B-2 bomber, the stealth fighter. It was fantastic. And my boys were soaking it up. They were like, "Whoa, Dad, look up there," And I'll say this, for the National Museum of the United States Air Force, they don't have an admission, which made it one of my favorite parts of the week. $25 suggested donation. And we were in there. They have hangars full of aircraft. So I'll just say this. If y'all are ever in, we'll say, Southwest Ohio, looking for a way to spend a day, you can go to the United States, the National Museum of the United States Air Force for $25. And that got our whole group in. That wasn't like $25 per person. That was $25 for all of us. And we were there for hours. And I could go back without the kids and actually have a chance to read things, not just run off to the next set of planes. So it was tremendous.
That's cool.
Highly recommend. So Fred says, I paid my way in with the Coronation IOU t-shirts. So and speaking of the stalking that happens on the show, or should happen on the show, or at least gets talked about on the show, Aaron says, if you haven't stalked the like button yet, go ahead and do it now, chat. That's right. Like.
Thank you.
So,
yep.
And we're going to bring in our guest for the closing little bit of the show here. And you know him. He's one of you, but he's also one of us because he's a writer and contributor at coronation.com. Please, he spelled his name wrong, but we'll forgive him. Please welcome to the Five Heart Podcast, Mr. Aaron Rastovski.
Hello, everybody.
What's going on, buddy?
It's so good to see you, Aaron.
Greetings. You got me on one of the rare hour and a half that I haven't been playing NCAA football, being home.
I know.
Which is working. What we're... Aaron Keene says he is like almost literally one of me. But you are here, speaking of, to talk about college football 25.
It's something I've been looking forward to for quite some time.
10 years?
Given the old... Can't hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, something I've been looking forward to, playing the hell out of the NCAA 14 until probably just a couple years ago still. But
I want to go back to Aaron from a couple of years ago when they announced that a new college football video game was coming. How excited were you?
I almost had to call in from work. When I got to do some shots. Thought this day would never come.
And now the day
that always played, we're sending texts back and forth the entire day. Yeah, it was great.
Now the day is here. Or I guess you probably paid the $30 extra to have it like a few days early.
Oh, hell yeah.
First of all, I heard that, not just you, but millions of people were paying $30. Like just the money that they made just on the early access probably cleared the development of the game.
No.
Oh,
John
I would imagine so. Because it was like
John said it was
$30 to get the 3 days early, and then like a couple other things that I'll never really do. Like you get a player card to build like the ultimate team or whatever, which is you start with like a bunch of little tiny guys, and by trading or doing better in one fashion of the game, you can like trade up to get like, instead of like a 66 overall quarterback, you can get like Joe Burrow from whatever 2019, 2020, whatever that was, and have him be your quarterback, and then you can keep building out through that. So you got something with that, but I never do that. I just got it for the 3 days early.
I was going to say, John said that he looked at it and he read that they got 70 million extra just from the $30.
Yeah.
And he said, when you think about it, that's actually not very much, which I don't know, because I'm not a gamer, but that sounds like a lot of money to me.
Yeah, so they had like the normal version was 70, and then the 3 days early version was the $100 with the other add-ons. and then you could pay $150 and you'd have the rights to NCAA plus this year's Madden or whatever. But I don't have any reason to play Madden anymore because I got this.
So talk to me. I'm pretty sure I had NCAA 14. I think
that was the one with the shoelace, I think, on the front, if I remember right. The
maybe
Michigan quarterback,
Denard Robinson.
Yep.
But I don't have I guess technically I have in my possession still in a box a PS3 and a PS4. No, it's not backwards compatible. And much to my chagrin, College Football 25, it's not NCAA anymore, it's College Football 25, is not available on the Nintendo Switch, which is the only actual working video game console that I have. So it sounds like if I was desperate to play the game, and I'm not saying I'm there, but I'd have to go out and buy like a PS5 or Xbox, whatever number they're on.
Yeah. Yeah, PS5 is the way to go. I don't know what that
They're $500. That's what John told us last week. $500.
I'm not prepared to.
Then you have to pay the $70 on top of it for the game. But John's like, it's so worth it because I spend hours and hours and hours and hours on it. But honestly, I'm the same as you. I have all this, like those types of things, the Switch and the Xboxes, and I wouldn't even know how to turn them on. You're gonna laugh. The last video game I actually played was Super Mario Brothers.
The original one, the scroll across the screen one. I still play that on my Switch from time to time.
Yeah,
I'm getting my kids into it.
I've gotten my oldest Garrett into some of those vintage games. We play a lot of Mario Party as well, and Mario Kart. So,
yeah.
Josh wants to know if he can get it on the Super Nintendo. That's a fun one.
And pay a lot of money for a cartridge there.
Yeah. I don't know. I agree with John as the amount of hours you spend for it, or spend playing it. Yeah, it's probably worth the $70 or maybe $570 if you have to buy the system. And the only reason I say that is I was doing some of that mental math last week. Like I said, we went to Kings Island on Thursday.
Yeah. Whatever your hobby is.
Well, and I think we spent, for all the tickets, for all the passes, it was probably $130 or $150 for all of us. And I was like, that's tough. And then we ended up spending 7 hours there. So when you take 7 hours, 5 people, the cost was worth it. It was justified in that regard, but I don't know. It's not a dollar I'm willing to pay right now. So I'll just have to live vicariously through you, Aaron.
Yeah, let us live vicariously through you. Tell us why we need this and show us how cool it is.
So first thing, my wife was very much okay with me getting a PlayStation 5 because my other hobby is Lego, and I'll tilt my screen up so you can see about, I would say that's maybe 10% of my Legos just around the room. And
I thought your camera was slowly tipping up to fall backwards. That's what I thought was happening.
So yeah, I've got like 3 Batman ones right there that are almost like $900 total, just themselves.
Oh,
so she was okay with me. She was okay with me getting the PlayStation.
You glue them all together?
Oh no, that's sacrilegious in the Lego world. You can't do that. Mm-mm.
Oh.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the Lego Movie, Minnie?
Yeah.
You got to defeat the Craggle.
Oh, okay.
The Craggle is crazy glue, which affixes everything.
This is like the original Legos.
Yeah, but when you have kids that actually spend their time putting that together, that's what you do. You glue that together, so you have it as a memento.
That's why there's a lock on my door, so no one's allowed in here.
Oh my gosh,
unless
Aaron.
I'm directly supervising. They've got like their sets that are like kind of display sets, they can play with the sets down here. And then their ones downstairs are the ones they can just beat to hell.
These are daddy's toys. You have crappy toys. These are nice toys, bad toys.
Oh, they've got the nice Mario ones where you can like set up sets and it talks to you and all that stuff, but
Aaron, your brother says, yeah, please announce before you move the camera. Fred thought he was falling down for a minute.
I'll keep that in mind. But
If Fred says I did, then I realized I was falling down. What a great family we've built here.
so yeah, it was no brainer to get this because the hours that I've spent have already more than paid for it.
And you've only had it for like what, 3 days?
It came out last Monday,
so
week and a half.
Okay, the 15th.
Like 10 days.
Yes.
10 days.
Like
okay.
3 o'clock on the 15th.
10 days. Does it count how many hours you actually spend playing it?
I can look at that. I don't know if I can see it on my phone, but I can. Yeah, when you sign into the PlayStation, it tells you how many hours you've spent on a game. And so, previous to this, I played mostly. My friend always drags me into Fortnite just because, and I just play it because I don't really care what I play if I'm playing with my friends. And then Gran Turismo, I have like 900 hours almost on Gran Turismo, just sitting there playing that.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Aaron, your brother, I'm just going to call you all the brothers. He wants to know how many hours in the game as of right now.
I don't know if it'll tell me. Let me see. 36, it says.
Oh, okay.
I have to wait till the kids go home, and then I play until like 3 in the morning, and then wake up for my 8 a.m. shift, and it doesn't go well.
Oh my gosh. So you are just like sleepwalking at this point. You're like, I have to get back to the game.
I slept a lot today, yeah. Turned on a show for my kids. And
Josh says it's been 10 days and you've already won 55 national championships. How many seasons have you made it through?
I am just a little bit, like a third of the way through my second season. I played the first one mostly on varsity, which is like level 2 of 4, because I started out and I was always like an Army, Navy flexbone guy. And they didn't just change how you run that, they swapped it so it's exactly the opposite. So I'd be meaning to like hand the ball off and my quarterback would take off running with the ball and get sacked for like 6 yards. So had to spend a lot of time trying to unlearn things that have been the same for 20 some years now. So that's the main thing that I didn't care. So
I don't know if you know this or not, but gaming systems have evolved in the last decade. So
yeah, but even because with like Cam Newton and those style quarterbacks, Madden had put a little bit of option in their system, and they kept it that same way. And so now I'd been playing that a little bit, and I always use a running quarterback. So now I had to freaking switch to try and unlearn all that stuff that I've been every game that I've ever used.
I want to
started out on varsity to try and relearn that.
I want to address some of the comments and throw them your way here. MK says Nebraska's offensive and defensive ratings are lower than overall team ratings. Special teams must be fantastic.
Boo, boo, boo.
Michael Hassman says the Buffalo's ratings are a joke. They're totally overhyped in the game. Your brother says, yeah, I heard the developers had a on for Colorado.
Everybody does.
Not everybody. That's gross.
Well, everybody outside of us are weirdos. They are weirdos.
James Boardman says, at least listen to, did you beat the shit out of Iowa?
So I had 3 losses my first year. One, I lost to Miami in overtime in week 2. I switched out our weakest opponent for them. And that's when I figured out I couldn't run my flexbone. So I switched from All-American flexbone down to the varsity level and tried to work on my passing, which I'm not as great at. And so I did that for a while and then rattled off a whole bunch of wins straight and then lost to freaking Iowa because
and you kind of came on here and told us about it.
It was a snow game, so like all the passing was just crap, and then they obviously could run the crap out of the ball. And
Eric, can I ask you a question? How old are you, sir?
I'm 38 now.
Have you ever seen the movie Ghostbusters?
I have seen the movie Ghostbusters.
Like the original one? You know, in that climactic battle, when Winston says to Ray, if someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes. If we ask you if you beat the shit out of Iowa, you say yes.
We're
not here for the truth. We're here to feel good.
Yes. This is all about smoke and mirrors.
I had him stopped on like the last possession where I would have taken over the ball, and I was down 3, I think, and then all of a sudden their running back, who was basically on the ground, just like popped straight up and ran for another 20 yards and got a first down, and then the game was over. So that's why I called them those cheating whores.
They are. You can actually just say that. Yeah, were the cheating whores.
Fred wants to know if Dylan runs faster on the game if he hears that Minnie's on the chain gang.
So Minnie's going to be very upset with me because I don't use Dylan very much as I do a lot of Harvard because I learned that option. So I split him about 50-50, I'd say. Because, yeah, Dylan, not super fast, but, yeah, him to Malachi Coleman over the top is money. Okay. And Jalen Lloyd's Lloyd's a cheat code. He's got like all the 97 speed, I think, or something like that. And
in all the videos that we saw in the Chasing Free and everything that we've seen, Isaiah Nair and Dylan Rhule are like best buds. So expect to see a lot between those two. You need to learn to have Dylan throw to Isaiah Nair.
I redshirted him in the first year, but now they're developing a rapport in my year 2.
Oh.
Wait, you redshirted Dylan Rhule?
No, I kept him.
Oh, okay.
I redshirted
Nair.
The other quarterback who I'm blanking on right now.
Danny Dimes.
Yeah. Yep.
Tiger Shark Diver, speaking of Dylan, says has a crazy arm strength rating.
Yeah, so they gave you an opportunity to do like lob passes now, whereas before you could just be like straight pinpoint passing and get everything intercepted. So, yeah, you put every once in a while if you can see a corner coming to try press Malachi Coleman, which he's 6'5", 220 now. That's not happening. So I just put him on a fly pattern and then just quick little lob pass, and it goes 70 yards for Rhule basically. And that's what I learned having to get away from my flex bone on how to pass. Because those two guys work pretty well together.
James, we don't usually get these types of comments from James, so I'm kind of here for it. Does Dion have all his toes in the game? And before you answer that question, Fred says, in your response to James, the first 7 people who bought the game got 1 Dion toe.
Come on, really?
We really have the funniest crew.
Dion doesn't have enough toes for 7 people.
Not anymore. Melissa says, if Minnie had the game, she'd pause it on Dylan and start talking to the TV.
Oh, yeah. They have a whole like pregame thing. And like when the team comes out on the field for the first time, Dylan's the first one hitting the horseshoes. And then he's coming out on the field and they're talking him up. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
That'd be worth the price for your admission.
Is he number 15?
So I don't know what happened. I went in and was playing around with like the different like helmets and stuff you could have, and all of a sudden I wasn't playing with his, but all of a sudden he turned into number 8, and Jalen Lloyd turned into number 1, and I don't know, like all the numbers got messed up, and so I was really sad that I did that. So I don't know how it happened, and you can't undo it, and it made me real unhappy because he was 15 and Coleman was 15, so I don't know how that worked out, but.
Fred says to Melissa that Minnie would personalize Dylan's jersey to say Minnie's guy. And this is a great question. This is like our guy. Who all do you notice is missing from the roster?
Oh, that's a good question.
The main one I wanted to play with was Carter Nelson, and he's not on there.
Okay.
And then our 2 like co-starting running backs, is it Irvin and
Ramir Johnson?
Since I've been playing with the other ones, I'm blanking on their names now.
Ramir Johnson or Emmett Johnson?
Ramir and Emmett were there. It was Irvin was gone, and it was
Dante Quentin Ives.
And so they had some guy named Beckwith was our starting running back, so I didn't use him.
Who?
There were other guys. Said Beckwith. Beckwith is his last name. Just some random. They've got in place of the normal guys. I don't know if they didn't opt in or if they just didn't develop them in the game. They just put a couple random people in there.
Okay. Hey,
I think in response to TSD's question, why aren't they on there like a Carter Nelson, for example, is because they were still in high school, right? I mean, like you can't really add in incoming freshmen to this game that's been in development for over a year, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it's just because I don't think in Nebraska that you can sign deals as a high schooler. I know you can in like Texas and a lot of the southern schools.
Oh.
So yeah, they didn't. But I know there's other freshmen, like I know Rhule was in school when they were before they released this, but there was other true freshmen that I don't think were there that are on the game. So I don't know why Carter Nelson specifically isn't on there. I don't know if he didn't opt in for the, what do you get, $60 $600 in the copy of the game.
Well, Dylan Raiola was there during the spring, and Carter Nelson wasn't. Maybe that's the difference.
There was one of the wide receivers wasn't there during the spring though, and he was on there. I forget which one because I was wondering if that was the reason, and I tried to look up and see if a couple guys weren't there. And
so there's not a real reason.
Yeah, I think one of the Bellevue guys was not there, and was on the game.
So, anecdotally, back in 2006, and I know that it was 2006. Sometime I'll have to share a story with you all on this podcast about Broken Sun. Broken Sun was a band, rock cover band up in Shadron. So I know it was 2006 because I eventually became roommates with a few of these guys. And I'm walking along the sidewalk, Pine Street Palace. That's all. That's as specific of an address as I'm going to give. The Pine Street Palace, and I'm walking, and they got the curtains open in the front of this double wide. And I looked in the window, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder what game they're watching." And I go in, and Ryan and Ben are there, and I'm like, "What?" Like, oh no, they're playing NCAA football 2006, and for the time, I know we're almost 20 years past that, but it looked very realistic. So, with the advanced technology, Fred wants to know, or has a comment, I suppose, saying it's so realistic that Chris Hansen tackles Minnie before she gets to Dylan.
Come on.
That
was I pulled a lot of taffy to get there, but I'm so glad I did.
Worth it. But yeah, it is. We obviously said this back in the day, but it's crazy how realistic it looks.
Show us some pictures.
I've got two TVs set up. I've got a TV that I play most of my PlayStation games on, and then another TV where I can either watch TV or play with my kids can play on the Nintendo downstairs. And so yeah, if I've got like a actual sports game and then this game up, it looks. I mean, you can tell which one's which, but it's pretty spot on how realistic it looks. Like they've got the waving like little blades of grass in there. The fans like react to, like if you bust around the end and all of a sudden there's no one in front of you, all the fans stand up to cheer. It's not like when they went to a touchdown and all the fans in the whole game just went like, or something like that.
I was gonna ask if the crowd is the same 10 people copied and pasted all around.
No, it's a ton of different people. It's pretty crazy how
are some of the people wearing salmon shirts?
The fuck, man.
There's a lot more white than there should be, I think, in our stands. I mean, it's not. Our stands aren't constant red throughout, but especially because I usually wear black anyway. But yeah, it's about 50-50 white and red. Which, come on, that's not the way our stadium works. It's usually like 75 at least.
A comment here. Let's see. MK says the college football 25 kicking is hard. And before you comment on that, Michael Hassman had a similar comment. Says the kicking looks challenging, especially in crunch time. Can you speak to that? Like, do they have like a big moment type of effect that maybe a young kicker has to try to overcome? Or
so I didn't really watch any videos on that, and so I learned the hard way that crunch time kicking was a thing, because I lost the national championship by 1 point with a kick of like a 40, I think it was like 45 something field goal. And yeah, when the kicking is a lot more difficult than the old style was anyway. But then you get it into that like crunch time, like I think it's within 2 minutes is what I ended up reading after that, because I was like, what the hell just happened? Because it was going like you couldn't even see the ball barely move on the little meter that it has. And so I went way wide on the.
Was it Alvano?
28-27. What
was it Tristan Alvano? You can tell us.
It was. And I did terrible with him at the beginning of the year before I switched to varsity and worked on my game a bit, and then went back up to All-American at the end. But yeah, that was rough.
Well, let's touch on a few of the other super saved comments that I have here. Josh says that damn console used to be $100. Now the game is. It's insane. Flies
Inflation.
goodbye. Yeah. Flies goodbye says, I'm late. Much love, fellow Husker fanatics. And it says, Minnie's hair is always on point. To which I have to say, like,
Greg's is not.
What the hell? Is it just because I don't dye mine? Is it because I don't live
Greg,
a lie?
No, we're trying to encourage you to look more youthful. That's all we're doing here.
I don't give a shit. Like, here's the thing. They say you're only as old as you feel.
I got you, Greg.
Wow. I'm waiting for Fred to jump in on that one. So the funny thing is, like, they say you're only as old as you feel, and I'm 42, but I feel 65. So, you know, that's fine. Now we got Josh says to Aaron, that's a badass shirt.
Oh, I
got lucky and found it on the clearance rack of the Husker Hounds.
There we go.
What? Let's see. That is a great shirt. Oh my gosh, that is killer.
Obviously, they have an official merchandising deal with the University.
I think so.
Melissa has the same shirt, dude, and hat. So
yeah,
right on.
The old Husker baseball end, which better be coming back.
And Jason Reeves says that you're pretty.
Aaron, you're so pretty. We're making him blush now. You turn red so easy.
I'm always like that.
Fred says, I missed it. I was opening more wine. Shit.
You have to go back and watch this whole show again.
And Aaron says my rant, my I don't give a shit rant seems to indicate that I do indeed give a shit. I don't. I promise you. I'm not speaking in riddles. Again, if I gave a shit, like, I don't know, I would try more, right? And my hair's missing the waterfall curls. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Let's see here. David Matney, by the way, still pissed off over the merch thing. We paid Scott Fraud $5 million for a shifty product. Then the university comes after our merch. I think it's $15 million for a shifty product, or at least to get rid of him. And the university comes after us. Yeah. Why don't we do a countersuit?
I thought it was $8 million. Wasn't it 8?
I don't remember.
We paid him enough, is what he's saying. Good point.
Baraska Rascal says, I need to purchase some new Husker gear before I go to the USC game for sure. You can get some great, not official Husker gear at copycorn.com, where you're definitely not going to see things with official trademarked logos, insignia, but they'll be fun, like the man-killing mastodons, etc., etc., etc. So, copycorn.com
only.
And use that promo code. What did I say it was? 24 or Bug Muncher 24 or something like that, or 24 Bug Muncher.
24 Bug Muncher.
That's why we keep you around.
15% off.
Now through the end of the month. So
yes, that is why.
Justin Raji says 12 million.
It's a total of 12.
Flies Goodbye says, anybody else like how Rhule is good with embracing the underdog role? I think that's fine. Again, honestly, until Nebraska proves that it belongs at the top, you're going to be the underdog, and might as well go in, with that, I want to say nothing to lose mentality. And I love what Isaac Gifford said at Big 10 Media Days, where he's talking about the record. He's like, I don't know, some people are talking about being 7-0. What happens after this? Like, why not just win all of them? I was like, oh, thank you, Isaac Gifford.
That's also what Rhule said. He said that he gets irritated when people actually want to know, like, what do you think we're going to be? 10-2, 8-4? He goes, that's saying you're going to lose. Why can't we win every game?
And yet you all ridicule and mock me when I say 15-0. So,
but I can't. I mean, I feel like you are just asking for trouble. Maybe I'm superstitious just because I've been hurt. We've been hurt. That's all.
Fred says David Matney is about to make a futile gesture because we didn't give up after the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor. So, I love the Animal House reference. Thank you very much, Fred. That's a callback that doesn't get made too often. So, Aaron, scale of 1 to 10, give us the old grade on EA Sports College Football 25, and then get the hell out of here.
I thought he was going to show us something.
We don't have any images. He didn't send us any images.
I tried to upload them because I can get them on my phone and be like, hey, look, but I tried to save them somewhere and it wasn't working, so I apologize for that.
We're already 2 hours into this thing, so.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
it's your welcome back.
Definitely a 9 out of 10. Defense is ridiculously hard.
Okay.
I gave up 3 straight touchdowns to freaking Dion's crew because Travis Hunter just ran by my guy and that's when I learned, you can just lob something up to a guy. 3 straight TDs and 3 straight possessions, despite playing every one of my defense back. But defense is insane, and then the Iowa guy breaking all those tackles, it's rough. So I give it a 9 out of 10 just because defense is wicked hard. But the only thing I really didn't like about Nebraska is 0 alternate uniforms, so you're stuck with just the 2 main ones.
Oh man. Oh. Well, it's a good thing that they're classic and timeless.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You can throw in the all reds or the all whites every once in a while, which I do, but otherwise you're stuck with just the two versions of the pants, 2 versions of the shirts, and that's it. And then I know you wanted me to tell how I was almost late for my wedding story.
Yeah.
That must be a mini thing there.
No, I was at the end of one of your shows, and you're like, "Wait a minute," and because I posted that I was late for my wedding because of this. Technically, it wasn't late for the wedding part.
Greg forgets everything. It was Greg.
That's factual. I'll stand by that.
We're nice, and we did our pictures before the wedding ceremony, so I was late for getting dressed for pictures by 15 minutes. I was supposed to be there to help open up everything and get everyone to where they were supposed to be and get dressed. So I missed that whole part of it by 15 minutes because I was playing college football in 2008 because it had just come out a week ago earlier. Sorry, we have an August wedding.
Hey, August is better than September, October, November, man.
Mm-hmm.
True. Well, she knew what she was getting, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Checking here. Michael says the alternate whites versus Northwestern with the chrome are my personal favorite alternates they've had. We talked about our top 5 favorite uniforms a few weeks back, before I took my unexpected and then planned sabbaticals. So
I was hoping they would have either that or because you keep seeing recruits posting in the all black versions with the black N and stripe, and then the black shirt jerseys that Scott Frost brought out for the one time when we held an opponent to less than whatever that we were supposed to hold them to. So I was hoping that at least those were on there, but no.
What was it? Was it the Michigan game when we were only down by 3?
He had a stipulation that the defense had to meet. I don't remember if it was 7 points or
Oh,
less or
yeah.
something like that. And then they could decide to wear the black shirts to the next home game, I think it was.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Melissa asked if this is the shirt that John owed me. No, I realized I don't need anybody to buy my clothes. I'm a grown ass man. And so I just went ahead and got it myself. So again, from the beginning, coordination, and
It's not about the money, it's about the principle.
Out of all the shirts, you chose that one.
yeah. I mean, there's not a 5 Heart Podcast shirt up there. So what was I supposed to do?
Why isn't there?
Because
Fix that.
I don't know.
Or this is my show shirt.
That's right. I'm a big boy now. So, all right. Aaron, thank you for joining us. No offense, but we're going to kick you back to the Chatterfields now.
Thank you,
All right, it
Aaron.
was fun while it lasted.
You're the best. Thank you.
And you shirt shamed me. According to Fred.
Come on.
Oh my gosh, am I going to sneak out of here without any roasting? Let's go.
We got him out while it was safe. There's nothing I can do that avoids a live round anymore. So, and welcome back home to the chat, Aaron. So, I don't have a pink shirt.
All right.
Crying out loud. Melissa, this is red. Okay, it's just look. Now that I'm not wearing it, I can get it nice and close. You can see it's a little bit of that kind of red and white blend. It's vintage. Vintage.
It's actually heather red.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
We have discussed this before.
Probably.
So.
I just didn't remember its a proper name. So.
Heather red.
All right. Minis, we're getting close to the end of the show here. I have a couple of graphics that I wanted to share with you. One of them came to me via X from Aaron Keene. And this was, I think, meant for you, but it went to the number 5 Heart Podcast on X.
Okay.
Oh, you're from Arizona, with a picture of the Grand Canyon. And this is, no, I'm from Arizona, where it's flat and not picturesque.
Well, I mean, it actually isn't that bottom picture. It is not, you guys. That is giving us a bad rap. That is not what Arizona looks like. There's lots of mountains. It's not all desert.
Have you ever been out to middle of nowhere, Arizona?
Yeah. There's actually a town called Nowhere, Arizona.
I'm pretty sure it looks like that bottom picture.
No, nothing looks like that. Maybe like Tucson.
See, you're already walking it back. You don't know. You've not been to every square mile of Arizona.
Yes, I have. I promise you.
No.
I have been all over this state. Name a town. I've been there. 100%. That's not what it looks like.
Fine.
Maybe
Tucson.
Yes.
Flagstaff.
Of course. I mean, name something obscure that you think I wouldn't be.
Yuma.
Yes.
Shit. Okay, hold on. I'm going to Greggle this one. Towns in Arizona.
I've been to Nowhere, Arizona, which is not even a real town. It just has a sign up.
Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. We need to go. What about Benson, Arizona?
Yeah, of course.
What about El Mirage, Arizona?
That's not even a small town.
It is. It's in Maricopa County.
El Mirage is actually just a suburb.
There's no way for me to know that. I'm looking on Wikipedia. What about, here's one, Kearney. Or do they pronounce it Kearney down there?
Oh, no. Is that in the north?
It's in Pinal County?
Pinal.
Pinal? Okay.
So it's south.
Sorry.
I don't think I've been there.
Litchfield Park.
Of course. Yes, that's also a suburb.
Peoria.
Suburb.
Prescott. I know we talked about Prescott.
Yeah, that's where I'm from.
Snowflake.
Yep.
Damn.
Sounds pretty, but it's not. Surprise is like a suburb of Sun City, where all the retirees go.
James Borman says Globe, Arizona.
Globe is my funny that you should mention Globe. Globe is one of my favorite towns in Arizona. It's untapped. People don't know about it. And it's still a tiny little town that has the historic district, and it was this old mining town.
What are you still doing here, Aaron?
Just, how did we start talking about, anyways?
Wait. If I don't ask this one, I'm going to get kicked by certain people in the Chatterfield. Tombstone.
Yes. I love Tombstone.
And last but not least, Youngstown, not Youngstown. That's in Ohio.
Yeah, that's again a suburb. Fine. You named mainly suburbs.
You have to understand there's no way for me to know that. I was honest to God just going randomly. All right. Well, are we ready for the big announcement? I'm going to put this little image up. I was working on it.
What is it?
I was working on it for 3 minutes during the show. I apologize it took so long. But based on popular demand.
Yay! Oh my gosh. That's what I was so hoping it was. Oh, I'm so glad you're going.
So for those of you who are
that picture, honestly, really?
Yeah.
Why? That picture.
I took that picture of Kings Island.
That's the least flattering angle you could have chosen.
I got to tell you, again, I don't have a flattering angle. I sent that selfie of myself because the band, the shirt that I'm wearing there is a band shirt for Revis. Revis is a really solid band. They were pretty big 20 years ago. They had a record deal with Sony. They had a song on the Ben Affleck Daredevil soundtrack. It just so happens that the frontman's a really good friend of mine. Like he was at my wedding. I was at his wedding. And they're from Southern Illinois. They just kind of started making music again this summer. Went to see them Memorial Day weekend down here. So anyway, I was wearing the shirt and I was like, I just want to show that I'm supporting my buddy here at Kings Island. Wore the shirt all day. And so I had part of Kings Island in the background. I had to do the extended arm so that they could see the shirt. And yeah, gosh dang, this is you would expect this to be a Fred comment. Minnie's selfie shaming now.
No. And Fred also says, who's the serial killer in front of Memorial Stadium?
Look, here's the thing. When I decided I wanted to put this graphic together, I was in my vehicle trying to, find the images that I wanted to use. I was getting gas before coming home. And so I just had to think on the fly. I'm a dumbass who wasn't even wearing a Husker shirt in the picture. Sorry, Josh. Okay.
I know. Josh.
Big toe outside the Memorial Stadium. And thank you. He thinks my neckline looks fantastic. He doesn't care what you say. So, Justin Raji's excited. By the way, going through the courtesy and the generosity, not just of Josh Hansen, who I'll be going and attending the game with, but his friend Megan, who is he acquired the tickets from her. So
nice. Thank you, Megan.
Yeah. So
and Josh.
This is gonna be a good.
This is so awesome.
Josh was talking to me about this. Huge boost for Revis. That one fan will be over. I don't care. I am that fan. I honestly encourage you check out. You can check out some of their old stuff. Revis "Caught in the Rain" was the song that was on the soundtrack. Anyway, we're getting off topic. When Josh and I were having this conversation because we've been talking about this for months, right? And it's like, man, I really want to get to that Colorado game. And a few weeks back, a month or so back, the week of my birthday, my wife and our oldest son, they were on the phone, and he says from the back of the van, he's like, Dad, what do you want for your birthday? I'm like, well, I know maybe not the most realistic or feasible, but I really like Nebraska, Colorado tickets. And then my wife changed the topic. I'm like, okay. So Josh and I have been talking about Haas, and I have been talking about Haas. Josh and I have been talking about it. Haas told me a week or two back that he actually bit the bullet and got tickets for him and his girlfriend. So they're going to be at the game in a different spot. So that just kind of left me and Josh. I'm like, I really want to go. I'm following tickets and talking with Josh. And he's like, man, I just did it. I got us tickets. Happy birthday. I was like, what do you mean happy birthday? He's like, yeah, no, you flew out for my birthday a couple of years ago. I was like, no, what do I owe for tickets? No, happy birthday. So he got the tickets. So I told him, I was like, dude, I'm getting emotional. Like, this is a random. Joshua was yesterday, Wednesday, in my office, and I was like, oh, dang. I was like, I don't know how to react. So,
love them. They're so awesome. Thank you, Megan and Josh.
So it's Josh says Megan is in the chat, but apparently can't talk. And he says, thanks, Megan. So,
Thank
it's
you.
I'm so excited to be there. The next thing we're working on is seeing if we can't do a big meetup, big coordination or 5-heart meetup for everybody. Cause I know I want to see as many people, like I'm going to be in Lincoln, kind of about the last time I was in Nebraska for about 36 hours. By the time I get there Friday on the drive up to leaving Sunday morning to drive back, I want to see as many people as possible. So whether it's Friday night or Saturday before the game, we got to figure out, we're going to make those plans. We're going to let them be known publicly. So Minnie, be ready. Haas he's on board.
I'm ready.
We are going
exciting.
We are going to have us a blast. But this was the big announcement. And again, sorry that the image is subpar and doesn't meet certain criteria.
It's okay.
Josh says, Megan says, go Big Red. So we like that secondhand, go Big Red. So, but that was it. That was, So get ready.
Fred Sacco says, wow, Josh is like 50% less asshole than I thought. What a roller coaster.
What a time to be alive, Fred. What a time. Not the victory, but the game. Not the goal, but the ravis. In the deed, the glory. Here's the thing. I don't know. I don't know if that's the record label that has to authorize permission, but I could probably play some of their music sometime. But I will encourage you, Fred, don't be a dick. If you're here on YouTube, go check out, just put in Revis Caught in the Rain, or Spin, or there's so much good stuff out there. I've been a big fan of their music for over 20 years. And that was even before I became friends with the front man. But we've laughed, we've cried, we've grieved, we've celebrated all together. So you got to have good people on your side, good people in your life. I'm blessed beyond my deserving to have friends inside this Husker circle, this Chatterfield, this 5-heart world, and friends outside. So God bless you all. So thank you.
Yay.
All right. Well, that's it, Minnie. I don't have anything else. We made it successfully through the format.
I'm so glad. Thank you, Greg. You made my night. I'm so glad you're going. This is so exciting to have you back. So I have somebody that I can
abuse verbally, emotionally.
Yeah. You're my crutch. I love having you. Thank you.
Does that mean what you like to smash? And break apart?
Nothing like that. No, nothing like that.
All right. Well, whatever. I mean, sometimes I
you
feel
up.
appreciated, and sometimes I feel
Sometimes
like
I might build you up just to bring you back down to earth. But that's the process.
that's a hell of a
we're
roller
working through.
coaster ride right there. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this show because if I'm being completely honest, my bladder can't take any more. And we've had a lot of fun, but we've already covered all the content. So, yeah, let's call it a night. Let's bid you all a fond farewell. Adieu. Auf Wiedersehen. Adios. For my co-host and friend, Minnie Hunt, I'm Greg Mahochko. This is the 5 Heart Podcast. It's the only 5 Heart Podcast, except no imitations, because we're the only ones who remind you, at least when I'm here. I don't know what the hell they're thinking when I'm gone, but when I'm here, we remind you every time I'm here, which should be each and every week going forward, that 5 Heart is all the heart you need.
That's right.
Minnie?
That's right. Go Big Red.
Indeed.